Hello, 6th grade Neil Eagles and Avengers. This is Coach Shafto from the Avengers team. In this video, you will learn how to find the constant of proportionality from a graph. If you remember from the last video, that's simply finding the unit rate, or in 8th grade, you'll call it the slope, from a graph. First, remember that a constant of proportionality, 1 will always make a line, and 2 will always start at 0. If it does not make a line, or if it does not start at 0, then it will not have a unit rate that is constant for that relationship. What we're going to do then is we can look at this graph and see we take the y divided by the x. The reason for that you'll learn in 8th grade, but for now, we're taking the y value and we're dividing by the x value, and that is going to give us our unit rate. To show an example, we see that this point here starts at 1, and that's our y value because it's going up. And then it goes side to side 6. And so my unit rate is 1/6. And that will give you a decimal. But notice that if we go to 2 and 12, this will give us 2/12, which if we simplify that, will give us the same 1/6. In the next example, we can say that we have 15 and we have 3. So we're going to take 15/3 because my y value, water used, is 15, and my x value, time, is 3. And this will simplify when we divide it to 5/1. So for every 5 gallons of water, we are using 1 minute in time. And that corresponds here to 5 and 1. In the next section, we can see that we have 6 feet, and that corresponds to 1 minute. This is already a unit rate, so you don't need to change anything. And then finally, over here, we could notice that we could have 30 chairs, and that corresponds to 6 tables. And this would simplify to where we have 1 here to where we would have 5 chairs and 1 table. And so my unit rate would be 5 chairs for every 1 table. These examples do not form a proportional relationship, and so if you were to divide any of the points, they would not be the same. Therefore, it is not proportional. You could also say that these do not have equivalent ratios. Once we jump over to IXL, we have the first problem, which says Edna's favorite book is about Johnny Appleseed, the American pioneer who planted apple trees across the country. Inspired by the story, Edna plants an apple tree in her backyard and tends the seed as it slowly grows into a tree. What is the constant of proportionality? Write your answer as a whole number, and it's in feet per year. So the first thing what we need to do is we're going to take a relationship, and we can notice that we could take this relationship right here, 4, and that corresponds with 4. So we have feet per year, and so this is going to be 4/4. So if we simplify this, we can divide by 4. 4 divided by 4 is equal to 1, and so I have 1 foot for every 1 year. So my answer here, when I simplify, is going to be 1. In the next problem, the Crafty Clay Art Show has invited Lila to make and sell her famous decorative plates. She molds the plates out of clay and then paints them. What is the constant of proportionality? Write your answer as the nearest whole number. So we can look and see that if we had 6, and I'm just picking a random one, like we could go here or here or here. They just have to cross on the line. So I'm going 6 and 3. So we have 6 pounds and we have 3 plates. And if I simplify this and take 6 divided by 3, that's going to give me 2 pounds for every 1 plate. In the next problem, it asks a school bus driver Gwen takes pride in safety, taking the neighborhood children to school every day. At the beginning of this school year, she's excited when she's given a much newer bus to drive her route. Do X and Y have a proportional relationship of the number of school days and the number of miles that are driven? If you remember, does the graph make a line and does the graph start at 0? This graph does not start at 0, so no, it is not proportional. This one makes a line and it starts at 0, so yes, it is proportional. And then we have to think every day at school, Emmett and his sister Molly play their favorite video game, Wizard Legends. The goal of the game is to earn power points by defeating goblins. So, what is the proportional relationship here between X and Y of points per goblin? So, let's select a relationship. They've got a cross. So, right here, that crosses at the line. It also crosses here, and that's it. So, we could have, I'm going to use this point. So, that's 40 points per 4 goblins. And so then I'm going to take 40 divided by 4, and this will give me 10. So I get 10 points per 1 goblin. And so now I know that the points per goblin is 10 points per goblin. In this video, you learned how to find the constant of proportionality from a graph.